Hello and welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I'll move my microphone slightly. It feels like it's in a more natural place there now, where I'm going to be trying another of these sort of mini-series of puzzles. I did one of these a couple of weeks ago by Marty Sears. It was brilliant. And this one has been recommended to the nines to us. It's called Deja Vu by Scojo. And yeah. You can see it's a 6x6, but this is called Part 1 Doublers. So I'm assuming that we're going to have lots of puzzles based off other rules. And the rules are quite long, but they're mostly standard. And yeah, as I say, this has been recommended to us a lot. Now, I found it on Logic Masters Germany, and I snipped some comments. So let's have a quick look at these. I mean, Marty himself has commented on this one. Extraordinary bit of work. Playing this pack leaves you constantly thinking, how has he done this? Brilliant concept and response to the mini pack prompt. And everyone, one of the best things I've seen in the Sudoku world in a long time, says Black Doom. That is high praise. Can be a bit tough, but totally fair at all times. This is an amazing series. I'd never have thought to be possible. Yeah, so I think we're in for a treat anyway. I'm looking forward to having a go at it. It might be a slightly longer video than usual, but occasionally it's nice. It's nice to do a long video. Now, what else can I tell you about on this Saturday? I don't know. The weather's better. That's good. Oh yes, I have started recording myself solving yesterday's listener crossword. Some of you really seem to enjoy a series I did where I solved a puzzle called Listen by Eck a few weeks ago. It took me 7 videos. Those videos are over on Patreon now. I'm going to attempt to do the same thing with this new Sabre puzzle, which is called Spider with a Y. Anyway, I started the first in what I imagine will be a long series yesterday. So if any of you have interest in that, hopefully that will come along on Patreon in due course. Now, the other thing we've got going on Patreon is, of course, our monthly competition, Back to the Future. I'm delighted to tell you that last month's winner is game to try and solve a puzzle with me, so that prize is going to be taken up. But this is Blobs' Hunt based on Back to the Future, obviously. Then we've got lots and lots of people solving this, so let's see where we are now. 274 was the count for correctly solving the whole thing. It's going to be over 300, I think. 334, nearly 1,500 solvers of the first puzzle. You've still got loads of time left as well. I mean, it's extraordinary. Not all of the... No, I mean, the puzzles are Blobs-esque. You know what? You know, if you're used to Cracking the Cryptic, you'll know the sort of puzzles Blob sets. They're never trivial. They're never normally monstrous. A couple of those in that pack are a little bit harder than a Blob's average. But to do all 10 puzzles, that's a serious bit of solving. So well done to all 334 of you. And the competition closes on the 20th, so you've got ages to solve the rest. Even if you haven't started, you'll be easily in time. Do have a go and experience what is a very nice treat. I'll quickly mention as well, because it's on my tabs there, Mark and I are doing a live edition of Cracking the Cryptic at the Stratford upon Avon Literary Festival. So if any of you want to join us there, Sunday, the 2nd of November is when it's happening. And it's Stratford upon Avon, which is the home of Shakespeare. It is not Stratford in London, which is not the birthplace of Shakespeare. It's a very different place altogether. Trust me about that. Now, what else can I tell you about? Let me look at my list. Oh, we've got one birthday and one wedding today. So let's do the birthday first. Dasha, you're turning the big 3-0 today. And I know this because your partner, Misha, wrote. And I think the two of you are about to get married, actually. And you sometimes do the puzzles solving them. You sometimes watch the videos. I think that's a lovely way to approach the channel. But Dasha, many happy returns and very good luck with the wedding that is coming up. And I hope, of course, there's chocolate cake. Now, I think over in Poland, is it Michael? It could be it's spelled slightly different to Michael in the UK. It's Michal, which could it be Michal? I'm going to say Michael. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. Well, I suppose. Well, I don't know whether it's fiance or wife now, but Amelia wrote to us telling us you're getting married today. And I think, Michael, you're the one who watches most nights, and Amelia has learned to tolerate my voice. Amelia, thank you for putting up with that. But I wish the two of you many, many years of happiness together, and I hope today goes swimmingly. I hope you have the weather that we have here in Surrey, which is much nicer than it has been the last few days. And that's all the news. So let's kick into it. Let's have a look at Deja Vu by Scojo. This is a mini-series of puzzles. I don't actually know how many there are. In Marty's there were loads, and the video was therefore very long. But anyway, these are the rules to this one. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 6 once each in every row, column and 2 by 3 box. So normal 6 by 6 rules basically. Doublers. Place one doubler in every row, column and box. Each doubler must contain a different digit. The value of a doubler is 2 times the digit in its cell. The value of a non-doubler is the digit in its cell. So if that cell is a 4 and it is doubled, I have a red for a double, its value would be 8. If it's not doubled, its value would be 4. I mean, that's totally obvious. Right, now it then says, standard region sumline, Renban, Nabner, Thermo, Kropki, XV and quadruple rules apply with respect to cell values. But then it does explain what all that means. So, region sumline. Box borders divide the blue line into segments with equal sums of values. Okay, so this thing here, you can see the box borders divide it up. So let's just... So what we're told is that the values of each of these colours are the same. So the sum of those 3 values is equal to that value, is equal to that value, is equal to that value. So that's quite interesting. Then we've got Nabner. No, we haven't. I missed out a rule. There's quite a lot of rules here. No, the next rule is Renban. Values along the pink line must form a set of non-repeating consecutive values in any order. So if this was let's imagine there were no doublers. If this is a 1, these would have to be the digits 2 and 3, and they can be in any order. So 1, 3, 2 would be a consecutive sequence. Nabner, is that the yellow one presumably? The 2 values on the yellow line must have a difference of at least 2. Yeah, so if this was a 2, ignore doublers, this would have to be not 1 and not 3, because 1 and 3 are sort of consecutive with 2, and that's jolly naughty along Nabner's, and you mustn't do it. Next, Thermo, 2-cell Thermo. The value on the tip of the thermometer must be larger than the value on the bulb. Again, we're looking at values here, so doublers might interfere with this. Kropki. Values separated by the white dot are consecutive. Values separated by the black dot are in a 1:2 ratio, or black dots. There's 2 black dots. So if this was a 2, ignore doublers. This would either be a 4 because 4 is double 2, or a 1 because 2 is double 1. That's how black dots work. V, there's a V up here. Values separated by the V sum to 5, well that's what we'd expect. Quadruple. The value 2 must appear at least once in the 4 cells surrounding the white circle. Yeah, so that's that's really weird. So that means there is either an undoubled 2 in those cells, or there is a doubled 1 in those cells having the value of 2. It's completely bonkers. Oh, the value of 2 must appear at least once, so there could be a 2, a real 2, and a doubled 1 in there. That's absolutely fine as well. Right, I've scrolled down. That's all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. I mean, the thing I think we must start with here is the region sum. As I was doing the example of the region sum, there are 3 digits there. Well, the values of all of these are the same because, but that's how region sum lines work. Those 3 digits, or no, that's not true. Those 3 values are summed up. Yeah, okay, so hang on, place 1 doubler. Each doubler must contain a different digit. Yeah, okay. So the minimum that these can be, assume no doublers, is 1, 2, and 3, summing to 6. So the values of these are at least 6. Now, if the values were any higher than 6, let's say it was 8, which would be double 4, you'd have to double 4 in all 3 positions because you can't create a value that's higher than 6 without using a doubler, and we're not allowed to double the same digit twice. So I think all of these are 6. I felt like fog was going to clear them for some reason, but that's not how this works. But okay, oh no, now I've got it wrong. And no, I have got it wrong. Oh, that's really clever. Right, what I've said is correct, except it's not quite accurate. It is true to say the values of these 3 are 6. That is true. However, I just realised when I did that can't work. Because if these 2 are natural 6, by Sudoku I'm putting 6 on the line, and I want that line to be 1, 2, and 3. I do not want it to have 6 on it. I mean, imagine that is a 6. Now, these both have to be 0 to make the line add up. That won't work. So actually, one of these is now a double 3, is what I've just learned. That's okay. That's very clever of Scojo, not of me. Okay, but double 3 can only be doubled once. So this one, which has the value of 6, must be a natural 6, I'm going to claim. Which makes me, well, that is, yeah. Okay, hang on. I don't know how we're going to pencil mark this. I mean, these are a 3 and a 6, and one of them is doubled. These are 1, 2, and 3. I suppose that is something I do know. So let's mark these up. This is natural. It can't be doubled, otherwise the world doesn't work. One of these is a doubled 3. If that was 6, that would be a 6 by Sudoku. If that was 6, that would be a 6 by... Oh, what am I doing? I'm already getting discombobulated. Now, what is this digit then? That's got to be a natural 3, doesn't it? Because it can't... I mean, this has a real value of 6, so this either has a value of 12 or a value of 3. 3 is an odd number, so we can't create it by doubling anything. And 12 we'd have to double 6 again, which would break Sudoku. So that's a natural 3, which means that's a 3 by Sudoku, and this is a 1, 2 pair. And now in this row we need 4s and 5s to complete it. This is really weird. Now, what on earth does that mean? I don't know, is the short answer. I mean, where do you look now? These clues are so underpowered, like a 2-cell Thermo or a 2 in one of those cells. I mean, I suppose you can't put 6 in one of those squares, but we already couldn't put 6 in this one. Actually, you can't put 5 on it either, can you? Because you'd have to put 5 and 0. Then a 2-cell Nabner. It's almost like these are comedy at the top. Those 4 clues are comedy clues. The Renban, was it values? It was values, wasn't it, that we had to make a consecutive sequence? 2, 3. These are 4, 5, 6. So Okay. Is it that black dot? But that could have a doubler on it, couldn't it? It doesn't have to be. I mean, I can see it can't... Okay, let's think about it. What is this dot, this black dot? It's not 3, 6. So if it hasn't got a doubler, it's got to be 2, 4. That seems to be true. Now, if it has got a doubler, how's that going to work? It could be a doubled 1, which would have a value of 2 and a 4. That would work. It couldn't have a doubled 2 on it, could it? Because what would you partner the doubled 2 with? You couldn't partner it with another 2. And you couldn't create a value of 8. And then anything else being doubled is too big. Doubled 4 is too big. So there is a 4 on this. It's a 1. Oh, I see. Okay, so that is helpful. Bizarre. So this is either a 1, 4 with a doubler or a natural 2, 4. But that gives me a 1, 2, 4 in the column. So these squares are... Aha! Oh, yes. So one way I could have done this is to say where's 6 in the column. That would have been the sensible thing to do. But that's now making this a 3, which means that is a doubler, which means these are not doubled, these are not doubled, because we only have one doubler in every row, column, and box. So now there is a doubler on this black dot. So that has to be, according to my own logic, a 4, 1 pair. This is now a 2. This is a 1. Oh, Scojo, I do like this. It's weird, but I do like it now. That's a 6. We can't have another doubled 3 in the puzzle. So that's a 6 by Sudoku. This is a 4, 5 pair. This is a natural pair of digits. So it's got to have a 2 on it. Because it's a consecutive pair of digits. And any consecutive pair, here's a knowledge bomb for you, will include an even digit. So that's going to have to be a 2. So this isn't a 2 in the corner. It's not a 1 by Sudoku. So, oh, it worked. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Feels like it's a while since we've had a 3 in the corner. That's great. Okay, there's a 4 on this Nabner line now. It can't be a 4, 5 pair because 4 and 5 are consecutive. Now, that has to be a 1 because it can't be a doubled half. So this is all getting actually done, isn't it? Now we've got a doubler now. Oh, well, hang on. We've got a doubler. Okay. That's interesting, isn't it? Look at these squares. One of them is a doubler because we have to put a doubler in box 1. Now the 3 is not allowed to be doubled. It's already been doubled. So the 3 is natural. So the 5 is doubled. Well, the 5 definitely can't go there then, because the thermometer would be wrong. So it must be 5, and another 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Okay, and the 5 is doubled, we just said. The 3 is not doubled. That is not a 6. We have to put a 2 in the quadruple clue, so that is not a 4. And... okay, and now I don't know what to do. Oh, maybe the Renban is where we look next. We've got a 2, 5 pair. So if this is a 2, it depends, is this a doubler or not? It might be. What have we doubled so far? We've doubled 1, 3, and 5, so all the odd numbers. So we have to double. Yeah, so where's doubled 6 appearing in this puzzle? And the answer to that, this is really quite a... That's probably the first sensible question I've asked. Where is doubled 6? Now I think it's not doubled in this box, it's not doubled in this box, it's not doubled here. I think it's got to be doubled here, which means it's in the bottom row by Sudoku. It's not there, and it can't be in the same column as another doubler. So I think we're putting doubled 6 right in the corner, which gives us a 6 here and a 2 here. Now, has that helped us? One of these is doubled, isn't it? Oh, hang on, so how does that work? One of these is a doubled 4. Yeah, this is important. This is important because now the digit I haven't doubled yet in the puzzle is doubled 2. And look at where it must go. It must be in this box and it must be there. So that is a 2 doubled, which has a value of 4. And now to make this consecutive, we've got 3, 4 as the values. Oh no, it doesn't. We don't know. 2 and 5 both. Oh, that's ridiculous. 2 and 5 both work. Oh, but hang on. But this being 4 means that's not a doubler. So this is the doubler, which is a 4, because we've had a 5 doubler. So these squares are 1 and 4. I'm worried that this is going to lead to a deadly pattern, I have to tell you. Oh, 3 I can do in this column. 3, oh, there we go. Sudoku comes to our rescue. That's a very unusual thing to happen. So this is a 2. Oh, no, I've still got a problem here. Ah, no, right. No, I haven't got a problem. Because this 6 is saying this is the doubler. And that is rather important because now we know that the doubler down here was a 1. That's 1, that's 4, that's 1, that's 4, that's 4, that's 1, and there we go. I mean, that's taken me a long time. I mean, there was an introduction. Okay, there we go. Congratulations. Part 2. Oh, I better like it. And what do? Do I just click it? How does this work? Yeah, okay, I did wonder if this was going to happen. So Deja Vu, we've got the same grid. It's the same grid. Halvers? No, that's ridiculous. Okay, so now I sort of understand some of these comments about this being bizarre, because however many puzzles are in this sequence, if they all have the same grid, that is ludicrous. Are all the rules the same? Oh, no, actually, I don't know that they are. I've seen the word integer in capital letters in one of the rules. Okay, let's just have a quick scan of the rules then. So we've got part 2 halvers. Normal Sudoku, so it's the same as before. Halvers. Place 1 halver cell in every row, column and box. Each halver must contain a different digit. The value of a halver is the digit in its cell divided by 2. The value of a non-halver is the digit in its cell. And then it just says standard rules for the rest of it. But the Renban rules got values along the pink line must form a set of non-repeating consecutive integer values in it. Yeah, okay, because obviously if you put a 5 on that and you halved it, that would have a 2.5 value, and quite how that would interact with a Renban, I don't know. So if the Renban does have a halver on it, it's going to have to be a halved even digit, is what we're being told. I think all the rest of the rules, they look like they're the same, all looking at values. Right, well, let's go again. Let's get cracking. Halvers. So now we can't do the same trick, can we? Because we can't say that these are going to be adding up to at least 6, because if there was a halver, I mean, let's think about it. If you had 1 and 2 and 4 halved on there, the value would be 5, wouldn't it? So those would all be 5, which could only... Okay, can you actually... Yeah. Well, because we can't create 3 non-integer values in these cells, because we'd be halving the same thing, which we're not allowed to do 3 times. I think these digits are all the same. That's the point. That is the point, isn't it? The point is that the sum of these digits, even if I include a halver, in order to arrive at integer values, I think the lowest this can be is 5. Because it's either going to be 1 halved 2 plus 3, which is 5, or it's going to be 1, 2 plus halved 4. Now that means that these digits are, the value of the green digits is at least 5. Now once we conclude that, can any of them be a halver? No, because we'd have to halve 10 and that doesn't exist in this puzzle. So these digits are, well, two things. They're either 5 or 6, but they're all natural and they're all the same. And that means that by Sudoku, that I see it now. So now there's 6. This is lovely. It's really clever. I mean, how can you do this with the same grid that just worked with the doublers? It's quite mad. I've got tears in my eyes. It's magical. No, because look what's happened now. Now, this digit by Sudoku, these are all the same digits. So by Sudoku, they have to go in that cell, which I've labeled green. But that's not really the point. It's not green. Because that is on a region sum line. These three digits, these three values sum to these cells. So if this had its own value, if this was green, these would both have to be 0. That doesn't work. So this is a halver digit, which means it must be even. So it's 6. The digit is 6. Now this has a value of 3. So these have to be a 1-2 pair, and that's how that works. That's the only way it can work. Oh dear, oh dear. Now, okay, so now all of these squares turn green. And now that black dot is 2-4, because it's real. There's no possibility of it being a 1-4 pair or anything nonsense. It can't be a 1-2 pair, that's going to break this, and it can't be 3-6, that would break this. So this is 1, this is 2, this is a 3-5 pair. Let's hope that this one goes more quickly than the last one. So now we've got 1, 2 and 4 into these squares, but we might have halvers involved. Can we... Oh no, you can have a halver here. I was going to say, can you really have a halver on the 5 domino? But you could, couldn't you? If that was a half 2 or a half 4, that would just be an integer and it would work. Oh bother. Okay. Oh, what's that? Doesn't that have to be natural 3? Because it can't be halved 6. We've had halved 6, so that's natural 3. Okay, so we've got a 4-5 pair. Oh, okay, that is, oh, see, that's a halver, but it doesn't affect any values of anything, so it could be a halved 5, couldn't it? We don't know. Okay, but it does give us a little bit more green in the world. 6, where's 6? Oh, yeah, where's 6 in box 1? Can it be in the bulb? No, because there's no possibility that this can be made bigger than 6 in a halvers puzzle. So that is a 6. We know 6 is always natural wherever it appears because it's been a halver already. So 6 goes in the corner here. All the 6s are done. The 6 is so unuseful so far as the thermometer is concerned. And these squares are 3, 4, 5. And these squares are 1, these squares are all odd. Now can that be? No, that can't be a 3, can it? Not because we have had 3 already on the line. That's certainly true. And if it was a halved 3, that would put a non-integer value. In fact, we're not allowed, this has to be green, because we're told that we're not allowed a non-integer value on this. So this is a sequence, and this digit is sort of the middle of the sequence. This is a 3, this is a 1 or a 5. So to keep everything consecutive, this digit is 2 or 4. Oh, bobbins. But I don't know whether we're meant to know that or not. Oh, hang on. No, I'm wrong again. Why do I keep my... This is... No. No. Hang on. This has got to have an odd value on it. That odd value is the value 1. Isn't it? Yeah, I think this is fixed, actually. And the more... No, it's not. It's not. Well, it has got 1 on it. Because if we were to halve 2 to create the value of 1, then we would need to halve 4 as well to create the value of 2 to make it consecutive. So there is a 1 on here, but then I don't know whether it's a 2 that's accompanying it or a halved 4. But I do know that isn't a 1. But that doesn't help me with knowing... Okay, I know that isn't a 1. Golly gosh, okay. So I haven't got a clue what to do. I've done all the 6s. This thermometer is useless. How? There's a 1 in one of those 2 squares. Do I care? Golly, Scojo, how on earth did you set this? Because it's already not trivial, is it? Oh, hang on. It is a bit more trivial. That seems to be a 3, 4, 5. Is that true? Yeah, 2, 4. Yeah, so 4 can't be on here. Sorry, I didn't see this. Is this really 1, 3, 5? Yeah, so once that can't be 1, that is a 3, 4, 5 triple. Yes, 2 is on here by Sudoku. That's what I'd missed. Right, so this is a 1, 2 pair, and I can't halve either of them. Because then it just doesn't work. So these are both natural. This is a halver. This is a halver. This is natural. These are both natural. This is natural. So, okay, we can work this out now. At least we can work out the options for this. This is 1 or 2, isn't it? So this is 4 or 3. Oh, whoopsie. In terms of its natural value. Which, okay. And now what do we do? Now what do we do? Now we could say, I don't know. Oh, it's not going to be something like we've got to have a halved, I don't know actually. Oh, hang on. If it's not the Nabner, is it? If this was a halved 4, that would be have a value of 2. So this would have to be a 5. But if this is a halved 2, oh, hang on, this is 1, 2, so this is a 4. Sorry, I'm just going crazy. This rule set is doing my head in. So that's now a 2, which is a 3, 3, 5. Okay, sorry. Now this is a 1 or a 2, which is no use or ornament. Now, this now is 3 or 5. Is that good? Oh, 4 being here means this is 5 because we can't repeat. And that puts another 3 in the corner here. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Okay, good. Okay, so now I'm feeling more confident that eventually I'll be able to figure this out. 1, 5, 2, 4. We haven't yet put 1 or 2 in halvers positions. Which, but I don't really see how we resolve that. These are 1, 2, and 4. So 1 and 2 have to be in those positions, don't they? in there, so they're either going to be like that or like that in their respective halving positions. How are we going to create the value of 2 in there? We're going to have to put a real 2 in, aren't we? Because the only other way of putting a value of 2 in there is to halve 4, which I'm not allowed to do. So there is a real 2 in one of these squares. So in this box, surely the 1 has to be the halver. I'm going to claim. So 1, I think, is in one of those 2 cells and is halved. So 2 is in one of those 2 cells and is halved. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 2 now. Still don't know if I know the order of all this. This is no longer 2. These are 1, 4, 5. Let's put that. Oh yes, look, that's giving me an unhelpful 3 there. The 2 being there though unwinds this 2 and this 4, and the 1 being here tells me that this is a 4. This is a 1. Okay, that's good. I mean, this is already so complicated. And I'm guessing we've got more puzzles to come that are just going to copy this grid. It's just bizarre. Okay. So now how does it work? It's going to be something to do with this Renban, isn't it? It's going to be something to do with the Renban. Oh dear, oh dear. 1, 2, 5. 1, 4, 5. Let's put this in. 1, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5. Now, oh, there's no result. No, there's no resolving it. Okay, so it is going to be something to do with how this X-wing unwinds. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's not easy to see. Right, if the X-wing unwinds in that order, in other words, this is 1 and this is 2, it doesn't work. Because you can't now put 1 in this box, I'm going to claim. I might even be wrong about that, but I don't think I am, because what I'm seeing there is if this is 1, 2, you can see this Renban becomes 3, 4, 5, because this cell has to be 4 now. So it goes 3, 4, 5. The 1 in this box is here. The 1 in this box is here, and there's nowhere for a 1 in this box. I mean, okay, so we have to do it that way round, which means this is 1, this is 2, this is 2, this is 4 now by Sudoku. So this now runs into a 1, 5 pair. That's a 5, that's a 5. And hopefully the world adds up. And that is how to solve the puzzle. I mean, that is crazy. Good grief. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's brilliant. Scojo, that's absolutely brilliant. I'm getting very terrified about this. Right, negators. No, what? I don't even know what's that? A minus number. Place 1 negator in every row, column and box. Each negator must contain a different digit. The value of a negator is -1. Okay, now that is sort of what I thought it was. -1 times the digit in its cell. The value of a non-negator is the digit in its cell. So we have the possibility in this one of negative numbers. And then let's just go through the rest of the rules. I'm just scanning them to see if I can see any differences to the rule set. I don't think I can. Yeah, it's all talking about values again, but this time with the possibility that you can have negative numbers, or genuinely a negative number. Okay, but surely. Yeah, let me just check the Kropki, because I was about to say surely a white Kropki dot can't have a negative number on it. Yeah, the values are consecutive. Yeah, so I'm going to claim this has to be a natural. Because even if you put a 1 on it and you negated it, -1, how would you make a digit consecutive with -1? You can't use 0 and you can't have another negator because it's going to break Sudoku. So that is natural. Now, is the same true of a black dot? It must be, mustn't it? One digit on a black dot will be double the other. So if you have a negative number, you double a negative number. You're not squaring it, you're timesing it by 2, so it's becoming more negative. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I mean you question everything in this puzzle, but that I think we can also do. Now you can't do that with the thermometer, because a negative number would really be lovely on the bulb. I mean, yeah, look at that. You could have a 6 in the bulb negated, and that would be fine. Because it would be -6, and whatever you could have a 6 and a 1 going. I mean, it would look so bizarre, but you could have it. What about V? Ah, you could have V. V could work with -1 and a 6 would work. Okay, but how does this thing work? Now this is a real digit. Yeah, but oh dear, yeah. Actually, I should have started here, shouldn't I? How does the region somewhat line work? If there's the possibility. Oh well, hang on. It's not possible. All three of these. It's not. This is a real number, so it's positive. So the single digits must all be positive numbers. These digits are, yeah, this is interesting. All these digits are the same. And they're all natural because they cannot be a negative number. You can't add those 3 numbers up to a negative number. Well, actually you could with -6 and 1 and 2, for example, but then all 3 of these would be the same negative number, which we can't do. So these are all the same positive number, and by Sudoku that digit goes here. So it's similar to the logic of the other one. Now, yeah, and now this has to be negated, because otherwise how can it work? If this was a natural number, then the value of these two would be 0. Which would mean we could create a 0 value, but only by repeating a digit and then having its negator, which we can't do. This is bonkers. So this is negated. Goodness knows what that means. So, well, okay, what it does mean, and I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit, is that all of those are now real. So that's a negator. And now I can do this. And in this column, I must have a negator. This is good. Okay, so there's a negator. Oh, no. Okay, no, okay. That is good. That is actually good. Because how does this V work? Yeah, that's got to be a negative number that's added to a positive number to create a value of 5. That has to be 1, I'm going to claim. So that has to be 6. And now the Nabner is totally hopeless. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter what we put here. It will not be consecutive with -1. Oh, that's quite interesting though. 6 is not the value on the region sum. Now, oh goodness, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be something simple here, but it's look, the Renban is all natural. And we've had a red 1, so this is, oh, but yeah, but actually we're summing to this value as well, aren't we? That's quite interesting. So what is this then? If this was a 2, I mean, let's just think about it. If this is a 2, then all of these are 2. Oh, that can work. That can work. I mean, it's completely absurd, but it can work. Because what would happen? This is a 2, this is a 2, this is a 2. And these have to add up to 2, with this being minus 2. Which means these have to add up to 4. Which means they're a 1-3 pair, and that's going to work. That is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so that's fine. I presume 3 can work, because if 2 can work, 3 will work. Now we're adding up to 3. Yeah, so these have to add up to 6. Well, there's loads of ways of doing that. 1, 5 and 2, 4. 4 means these have to add up to 8, which is very possible. 6, 2, 5, 3. 5 means these add up to 10. Okay, I can rule 5 out for a different reason. If this was 5, you'd have to put, because this digit gets transported into all of the cells that contain A, that would be 5 on a natural black dot, which is impossible. 5 would have to go with 2.5 or 10, so that doesn't work. What about, no, 6 would require these to add up to 12, so that also doesn't work. So this is 2, 3 or 4, okay, which we can then fill in round the grid. And on this black dot then, how does that help us, if at all? The answer is I don't think it does very much. I'm sorry, I'm being dense, aren't I? I mean, do I have to really pencil mark this with all its options? I don't want to, but I suppose I should. I mean, it's not a helpful deduction, is it? I mean, I don't think 2 can go with 1 here, because then 2 would have to appear. This would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, and neither of these could be a 2, because these would both be 2. So I think we can take 1 out of here. But I think 2 and 4 might still be possible. 3 and 6. Or perhaps what you have to do is to consider those as sort of a single unit. I really don't know. I know that's not the right answer, but I really don't know. No, I've got something easier. That is a 1, and I can't repeat it here, can I? So 1 is on this black dot, so this is a 1, 2 pair. Now that gets rid of 2 in all of my funny cells. Now what does that do here? This can't be 4 now, can it? Because this would need to be 2 or 8, and that's not going to work. Okay, well that's a win for the goodies. So 2, oh, this is lovely actually. Look, it says Sudoku is helping me, because now 2 has to be on the white dot, and 1 can't be, and it's a natural white dot, so it's 2, 3, and now this is a 4. I don't believe it. So this is a 2, and you can't put 4 on the Renban, so that's got to be a 1, 3 pair, and I can see the order is like that. This is just, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It is ridiculous. How can this possibly work? Right, oh, we don't, well, that's 5 and 6. This is 3. Now, hang on. Yeah, these have to add up to 8. So that's a 5, 6, 5. These, we can't have to put 1 in this row, and it can't repeat in the red. So that's a 6. That's a 6. That's a 2. Okay, this is good. Oh, 6 here means that's 6. That's 5. And now somehow these other constraints are going to have to bring us home here. So we've got 2 and 3. Yeah, 3. Where's 3? Where's 3 as a, whatever it's called in this puzzle, a negator? And the answer is, in this box there is a negator in one of these, but it's not 3. So there must be a 3 here as a negator, which puts 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its position. So 2, 4 on the Thermo, very nice. This is 1, 3, 5. That's not 3. That's not 1. And now the negator here is a 2, and we can place it. So 2, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1, 4. Oh, I thought that was going to be a 4, but no, my Sudoku let me down. There we go. Now let's just make sure that we fully pencil mark it. I think it's like that. That's an extraordinary puzzle. I mean, that was... I didn't think that was very easy at all to get your head round. How many of these things are there? No. Pseudo cells. What on? I've heard of them, but I can't remember what they are. Okay, part 4. Pseudo cells. The grid's the same. We've got place one pseudo cell in every row, column and box. Each pseudo cell must contain a different digit. The value of a pseudo cell is the sum of its row number and its column number. Oh goodness. Regardless of the digit in its cell. The value of a non-pseudo cell is the digit in its cell. Right, okay. Now let me just scan the rest of these rules. Is there anything novel? No, I think they're the same. Okay, so let's just think about that. So the value of this cell, if it was a pseudo cell, would be 8, row 5, column 3. You add them up, do you? The sum, yeah, the sum of its row number and its column number. So, okay, goodness only knows how this affects everything. And we have to put a different digit in each one, each pseudo cell. Yeah, each pseudo cell must contain a different digit. Right. So, where do we start with this one? I haven't got a clue. There must be some cells that are very unpseudoable. Like if that was a pseudo cell, what is that? 1, 2, 3. That's a, oh no, that's fine. That would be a 4, I think. 1, 2. Row 3. No, it would be a 5. No, because it would be in column 2. So how could that be a pseudo cell? If that's a pseudo cell, that has to be natural and has to be 2.5 or 10. Yeah, that's normal. What about that one? That one would be a 6, which this is probably what I meant to do. I keep neglecting looking at this line, and this line has always been interesting in the first 3 puzzles. Well, hang on. How could that be a... Yeah, sorry, this is where we should have started. Right, row 5, column 6. That has a... If that's pseudoed, it has a value of 11, and that's okay in and of itself. You could make those add up to 11, but I definitely can't make that have the value of 11, because even if it's pseudoed, it would have the value of not 11. I haven't worked out what its value would be, 6 maybe. So that is a natural digit. Now 6 there could be, because that could be 1, 2, 3. Oh, I see. So both of those could be pseudoed. If this was... well, hang on. So if this wasn't a 1, 2, 3 triple, adding up to 6, and we were writing 6 here, would it get bigger? Because row 3, yeah, that would have a 7... Yes, I see. Yeah, pseudo cells. I think I've learnt this at some point in the past. You can think of them as diagonal puzzles, can't you? Everything on this diagonal. No, or have I got the maybe I've got the diagonal in that. Maybe it's that diagonal actually. But no, those. See, that's row. This is row 3, column 4. Yeah, no, I am wrong. I think it's that diagonal. Yeah, no, it is. It's the positive diagonals, isn't it? But anyway, the point is that this has a value of 7 if it's pseudo. That's so big, because this is natural. This has a bigger value than 7. And this has an even bigger value as well, because it's adding 2, isn't it? Yeah, it's adding 2, because we're going down and going 1 more across. So there's no way any of those are pseudoed, because this has a maximum value of 6. So this is a 6. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple. Now, let's be careful though, because this could... No, it can't... Oh, I see. I see. It can't be a 6. Because if it's a 6, where are you putting 6 in column 5? It would have to go on the line. So that is a pseudo cell, which means none of these are pseudo cells. But we don't know what value this has, but we do know there's a pseudo in one of those. Now there's a pseudo... Oh goodness, there's a pseudo on the black dot. How's that going to work? Yeah, that is not pseudoed. Yeah, this black dot has gone crazy, because what's happening here is that if this was pseudoed, it would have a value, I think, of 11, which would require this to have a value of 5.5 or 22. They are not possible. But if we do it the other way round, I think this is in row 5, column 5, so it has a value of 10. And I can do that if that's a 5. So, okay, that's good. That's still good. We're still in this one. So this is a 6 by Sudoku. 6 is up here. It doesn't matter, does it, what this is? It can be anything. It just has to be different from that one. Those squares are a 4, 5 pair. So this is 1, 2, 3. Again, the logic that we did earlier, there must be a 2 on a natural consecutive sequence. So this is not a 2. And this one, that one could be another pseudo cell. Row 3, column 3, it would have a value of 6. Oh yeah, okay, all right, but it's either a pseudo cell and has a value of 6, which requires this to have a value of 3, or it's a natural cell and has a value of 6, which requires this to have a value of 3. So that's a 3, that's a 3, this is a 1, 2 pair. Now, okay, so 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. I mean, what does that mean? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Oh, I'll tell you something though. This is so hard for me to do on camera, because all the rules that I've learned like 2 minutes ago I have to just disregard. But I think it's true to say I can't put 5 here, because this is going to have a positive value, even if it's a pseudo cell. So if that's a 5, that cannot work. So I think 5 is in the pseudo cell, but it has the value of 6 because it's in row 2, column 4. Which means the pseudo cell here is not a 5, it has a value of... No, it doesn't have a value, but it is a 4, because we can't repeat 5 in the pseudo cell. So 4 is pseudoed here. 5 is pseudoed here. So this cell can't be a 5. Because if it's a 5, it has to be converted, so its value is 6. But that would put 2 red 5s in the grid. So this is either a pseudoed 4... No, which it's not. We've just said pseudoed 4 is here, definitely. Because the pseudo digit here cannot be 5, yeah. So this is... Oh, hang on though. It is a 6. I'm saying that, but I'm not sure. Can it... Let me just check the rules. Each pseudo cell must contain a different digit. The value of a pseudo cell is the sum of its row number and its column number, regardless of the digit in its cell. The value, you see, could that be a pseudo cell? and have its own value, if you see what I mean. Its value would be 3 plus 3. I don't know. I'm not sure whether we... I think from the rules, I cannot say that that's definitely not a pseudocell. I think it still might be able to be a pseudocell. Well, bobbins, I don't know then. I don't know what to do. So okay. Sorry, I know I've stopped talking. It's because I haven't got a clue what to do. Okay, so what's the value of that cell if it's pseudoed? It's row 4, column 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be 7. That cannot work. Okay, so this Renban is all natural, so it can't have 6. I was going to say it can't have 6 on it because 3, 4, 5, 6 would require a 4-cell line, but it doesn't have 6 on it anyway. So we don't perhaps know what that is. Do I know what that... Oh, what's this digit? So this digit can't be 4 because 4's been pseudoed. So it's 1 or... Ah, yeah, okay. So it's 1 or 2. I didn't spot this, but that's good, isn't it? So this has got to be a 4-6 pair. So this has got to be 1 or 3. It can't be 2 because I need 2 on that white dot. And this is natural. So this is an odd natural value. So this has to contribute an even value to make the V add up. Now, if it was pseudoed... Oh no, it would have a value of 4, I think. Row 1, column 3. That's 1 plus 3 is 4. And that would make this... So if that is a pseudoed cell... If it is a pseudoed cell, it has a value of 4, and that would be a 1. But if it is a normal cell, it is a 2 or a 4. And that's about as useful as a chocolate teapot, I think. I don't know then. So I do know that there is a pseudoed cell up here. I've got to put 2. Oh, I don't believe it. If this digit was a pseudo cell, it would be in row 1, column 1, and it would have the value of 2. So I can't even say there's a 2 in there, because if that's a pseudo cell, it has the value of 2, and that completes its purpose. 4 is in one of those cells. There's a pseudo cell. Where are all the pseudo cells? So there's one here, one here. I don't know whether this is a pseudo cell or not. I've pseudoed 4, 5, and 1 or 2. So I've got 1 or 2 to pseudo. 3 and 6. But that could be the pseudoed 6. The pseudoed 3, there's no pseudoed 3. Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's better. Right. Which box contains a pseudoed 3? Because something I've just noticed is that this cell can't be a 3. Because it would repeat on the Renban, and all these Renban cells are beautiful in the sense that they are not adulterated by any pseudo quality. So that is not a 3. So 3 in this box is in one of those 2 cells, which means 3 in this box is in one of those 2. But crucially, I can see it's in a green cell, so it's not pseudoed. So in which box are we putting a pseudoed 3? It's only this one. So there is a pseudoed 3 in one of those 2 cells. Oh, well, okay, and that means this... Oh, that's not going to resolve it. That means this is a 1 by Sudoku, which means these squares are a 2, 3 pair. which means that square is a 1, apparently. This is a 2 now by Sudoku, so that's a 2, that's a 1. Right, and these are a 3, 4 pair. Oh, well, this is good, because we know we can't repeat 3. So now we can't put 1 into this square. So to make these consecutive, we need 2 or 5 into this position, which again is just not helpful. 3 means this is 3, that's 2. This can never be consecutive across the Nabner, so that's not the point. And I don't think we know. If this is a 3 and it's pseudoed, it has the value of 4 and it works. And if that's 3 and it's pseudoed, it has the value of 2, and that even has an impact on the quadruple clue. Okay. Okay, so it must be... Okay, so there's a pseudo down here. And that pseudo... So the question's now pseudo 1, isn't it? I think. That's a reasonable question. I don't think it's going to do anything, but it is a reasonable question. Where is pseudoed 1 in this puzzle? And the only place it can be is in one of those two cells. So there is a pseudoed 1 in one of these two. It doesn't seem to... Oh, well, no, that does... Of course, that does resolve it, because now that has to be green. Which means this is... Oh, no, this is good. This is good. I had not understood why, but it is good. Because now that is a 4. That is a 5, because we've already had pseudoed 5. Now this can't... Neither of these can be pseudoed. Yeah, that's the point. So we haven't had pseudoed 6, and there must be pseudoed... Oh, that's not helpful. Well, it does mean that's not pseudoed 6. Well, that's good, because now, where's the pseudo in column 3? It's got to be there, so that we know that's a 3. It has the value of 4, which works with the 1. This is not a pseudoed cell anymore. So now we do have to make sure that we put real 2 into one of those two cells to make the quadruple clue work. Now, how has that resolved everything, if at all? And the answer is, I'm not sure yet. I think it... Oh, 3 can go there by Sudoku. So these two squares are a 1, 5 pair. These are 2, 4, 6, with that not able to be 6. Goodness me, it can't... Surely this can't still be complicated, can it? I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure I'm just... Oh, 5 is looking at that digit. I didn't spot that. So that's a 2, that's a 4. It's quite easy, I'm going to claim, to miss things in this puzzle. 5 in column 3 is placed, which is good. That's a win for the goodies. This is a 5. This is a 1, this is a 4. The 1 was the pseudoed cell, so that's a pseudoed 6. This is a 2, that's a 2. Now what do we do? Well, we've got to put 6 over here. Well, it's in fact in one of those two cells. It can't go on the bulb of a natural thermometer, can it? So 6 goes there, 6 goes there, 4 goes there, 4 and 5. Look at the way it just works with the thermometer. Good grief. Now let's just tidy up our thingies. Tidy up our thingies. And there, I'm going to claim is the... Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Oh, this is very, very clever. My goodness me. Right, let's go again. Copycat cells. Okay, now let's have a look at the rules for this one. I can't remember what a copycat cell is either. So we've got copycat cells. There's a long paragraph. Place one copycat cell in every row, column and box. Each copycat cell must contain a different digit. Okay. The value of a copycat cell is the digit in the cell rotationally opposite itself in the grid. 180-degree rotation about the center of the grid, regardless of the digit in its cell. For example, if row 2 column 3, if row 2 column 3 is a copycat cell containing the digit 5, and row 5 column 4, row 5 column 4 contains the digit 2, the value of row 2 column 3 is the digit in row 5 column 4, which is 2. Yes, okay. The value of a non-copycat cell is the digit in its cell. So there's nothing in those rules. My first thought is, could you have a copycat cell? Could you have that? And them sort of point at each other. So in this situation, they're both lying. This one would have the value of 2, and that one would have the value of 5. I think that's possible on the rules. It doesn't make it any easier, but one thing I do want to check is the rest of the rules. Let me just scan these quickly and check whether or not we've got anything difficult happening. They all look the same as normal. They all look standard. So let's get cracking again. I don't know if I've said let's get cracking each time. I can't remember. Oh, come on. A copycat cell. So we're looking at rotationally symmetrical cells. How on earth do you do it? It's going to be this line again, isn't it? So, well, don't these all have to be... Oh, no, they do. I was going to say, don't all these have to be 6s, but no, they presumably don't. Because if something there was a copycat cell, so that one would take that value, that one would take that value, that one would take that value, and you could switch out, as you could... Yeah, you could create another low value, couldn't you? So, okay, so the best you can do on this line, though, is to have one copycat cell shipping in the digit 1. So you could have the values on here could be 1, 2, and then another 1, which is 4. So the values of these are at least 4. But that doesn't... But you can't write that in, because you don't know if any of those are copycatted. Yeah, for example, if that one is copycatted... Oh, that's weird. If that one is a copycat... Well, it takes that one's value, but that one's looking at those two. Oh, this is going to do my head in. I'm just going to give that... Hang on, let me just think about this. So if that one is copycatted, then both of those have to be copycatted, I think. Because imagine that this line adds up to 5, say. Then if for that to be, so that would be a 5 is what that's saying. But now neither of those can be 5, yet they have to have the value of 5. So both of those have to be copycatted. Now that has to be copycatted by Sudoku. And all of... Oh no, hang on. So where are all the 5s going? That's going to be a 5, isn't it? So that would be a 5. Oh, this is very confusing. This is very confusing. Why do I think that's a 5 now? I've lost... Yeah, that... Hang on. I'm trying to trace this all through in my head, and it's really very complicated. I've lost my train of thought. So if that's a copycat, it has to have that which makes these copycat. Now, what's the effect of that? Let's start with that. So that digit is that one, so that would be a 5. This one, yeah, so that one's a 5 as well. that one's a 5. So you'd end up with a 5. And all these digits would be, let me just be sure about what I'm going to say now. Oh, but, well, 5, no, oh, hang on. But, hang on, I don't have to do any arithmetic, do I? Good grief. Wow, that's really... I'm absolutely sure I've overcomplicated this. I'm so sorry, Scojo. I think I've gone mad, but I have got one deduction now. Okay, so can you see why this doesn't work? And don't worry if you can't. I mean, it's completely absurd. Because it requires tracing through the copycats, the sort of, the cells we'll call 5 in this example, and the red cells as well. But what you end up with, look, which is really rather beautiful, actually, is that this cell is forced by Sudoku to be a red copycat cell. If this is copycat, that is forced to be a copycat. But that means that the value of this cell is that digit by the weird rule. But that digit has become, by virtue of the copycat implications of this forcing this digit here, and therefore those two not being able to be natural 5s, those two be 5s, that becomes a 5, but because this 5 here gets transplanted there on the region sum line, it can't work. Because now what's the value of this line? It's 5 plus 2 more digits, yet it's meant to only be 5. So it cannot work because those two are in sort of juxtaposition and are forced by different rules to be opposite one another on the copycat. Now, the reason I think I've overcomplicated this a lot is that I think all we're going to learn now from that logic is that, literally. All of that allowed me to deduce that this is a natural digit, which we said was 4, 5, or 6, didn't we? So what does that mean? I have no clue. I'm sure it means something. So, okay, here's one thing it means. Oh no, I see, I have overcomplicated this. I've just realised something different. That's really pretty. Yeah. Okay. I've done this wrong, but I've done it. I've done it differently, and that's what happens sometimes. Look at this cell. Is this natural or is it a copycat? Now, if it was a copycat, it would be taking this cell's value, but that cell can't be the same value as this because it's in the same column as it. Ergo, that's green. And the same logic the same logic works for this cell. If this cell was a copycat, it would take this value, and that value is not possible to take because it needs to be, the value for this line has to be this value. And if it's stealing that one's value, that's obviously these two are not the same digit, are they? So this one is also green. And now this is getting really interesting because, no jokes about me at parties, I've now definitely got this digit. Whatever this digit is, it's the same as before. It's popped up here where it can't pop up as a natural value on the region sum. So that is a copycat. And that means these are all natural. And the value that this is picking up is that cell's value. So we're going to have to find a way of... Oh, that's a horrible colour. Let's try that. Or maybe that. Oh, or maybe I make it red just to be consistent, but I'll make it a circle. Okay, so the value of this... Well, this could be self-referential, could it? I don't know. That's a real 4, 5 or a 6. Oh Lord, this is really confusing me. I'm sure Scojo is absolutely delighted about this. Oh dear, oh dear. Hang on. I need to think. I think I better think it out again. I'm reviewing the situation. But it's wrong to be a rogue in every way. So, job I'm getting possibly. I wonder who my boss will be. I wonder if he'll take to me, what bonuses he'll make to me. I'll start at 8 and finish late at overtime and over 8. I think I better think it out again. What's going on? So, well, okay, the value being shipped in to this cell cannot be an enormous value. The minimum value of those is 1 plus 2. So the value that's being shipped in here cannot be higher than 3. So that is 1, 2, or 3. And, okay. But if that was a copycat, can it? I don't think it can be. I'm just trying to get clear in my head. So that this one has the value of that one. But what if that one had the value of that one? Is that possible? So if this is, I mean, one of those is red. Maybe that's where we're going with this. Or maybe this gets too difficult. So this, I mean, the values of these two cells, for this to be 4, maybe I've got to do it very slowly. For this to be 4, then this is a 4, which would mean this can't be red because there's no black dot relationship between 4 and 4 there, is there? Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I mean, if this is 5, I don't see how that can ever work across the black dot. Whatever value is being shipped into this cell, or it actually has, it cannot work. So 5 we can take out. That is fine. And if this was 4, I think this has to be natural, because so that digit is 4. Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? Once you pencil mark this digit in, it becomes clear that you can't transport it here because it would be the same digit across the black dot. So this is not red. Right. God, that's taken me ages to see, but forgive me. I know I'm obtuse and difficult sometimes. I do not mean to be. Right, so this is a natural black dot, and therefore that is not a 1. So this is a 2 or a 3. And yeah, okay, that's good. That doesn't, so 4 doesn't work, because if this was 4, what's happening then is that the way that you get to 4 is you transplant a 2 in from here. But then these two squares can't be a 1, 2 pair. They could only be a 1, 3 pair. And 1 plus 3 plus the transported 2 is still 6. It's not 4 anymore because you can't put a 1, 2 pair in here. You can't transplant in a 1. There's just no possibility of doing it. So 4 is not a possible total. We've got to be looking at 6. That's therefore a 3. Transplanted in here, so this is a 1, 2 pair. There we go. There we go. That's what we're looking for. I don't know what that's going to do, but I'm jolly pleased to see it. So these are all 3, 4, 5. This is okay. We had this logic earlier. This is a 2-4 pair. It can't be 3-6. It can't be 1-2. So it's got to be 2-4, which crystallizes this. How did you set this? What on earth made you think that this was possible? I do not know. It is completely and utterly bonkers. Now these are 1, 3, 5. Now I don't even trust. Hang on, what constraint are we doing? Copycats, aren't we? We're doing copycats. So now I'm doing, okay. So that one has the value of that one. But I don't think that matters. I mean, I think that's just it's a truth. But we can green all these. So that's something we should certainly do. And in box 2, we've still got 1, 2, and 4 to put in, but obviously we could be borrowing all sorts of digits from other places in the grid. Unfortunately. 6 is on the Thermo. 6 must be in the tip of the Thermo. It must be. If this is a natural 6, there's no way to get this to be bigger than 6, even with the copycat rule. So that's 6. It must be, well, oh, it must be natural because it's already been redded there, so it is natural. So 6, so I'm getting some 6s. I've got all the 6s, in fact, but this thermometer is now absolutely useless. I suppose it did its job, sort of. I can't malign it too heavily. And I mean, goodness only knows what we do with this. So, right, now that cell is natural, because otherwise it would have the value of 6 across the white dot, and that can't be a 5. So that's natural. That one we don't know. That one we don't know. So how does this work then? Can we say anything about this white dot? I mean, it looks like it wants to be a 1-2 pair, obviously. The only way it's not. I mean, how? No, that could. No, everything is up for grabs. Because if that digit really is pulling that digit in, then everything is possible. I think. Oh, it's not going to be the Nabner. Actually, how many of the puzzles have used the Nabner? I don't think it's that many. If that is natural, it couldn't be a 4. Which it might matter. I don't know. Where? Oh. Hang on, I've just noticed something. I can't put 2 there. So this is 1 or 4, which... Oh, but hang on, one of these is wrong. Because in row 1, I've got to put in a copycat. So one of these digits is borrowing from these 2 digits. Ah, now if that's borrowing, it's borrowing an odd digit. So that would have to be an even. I know that can work. And if that's borrowing, it's got to be... Hang on, how does this work? This is very confusing again. It's very difficult to do this because you have to forget so many of the things you've just learned. If this is red, what do we know about it? Well, actually, hang on. If it's not red, it's a 1. How does that work? That doesn't work at all. Yeah, the actual good question is, can that be green? Because if it's green, it doesn't work. For the following reason: if it's green, it's then we know that this is a borrowing digit, because we need a borrowing digit in row 1. So this is borrowing in this digit, which is odd. But this can't be 4 now, because 4 is consecutive with 3 and 5. So that's the logic. This is this is copycat. That's not copycat. These are not copycat. That's copycat. This is natural. So there you go. This has got to be a 1-2 pair, which means this is a 4 by dint of Sudoku. This is not. This is good. No, this is very good, because we've now had 4 in a copycat cell. So that's a 5. That's a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Now, what does all this mean? I don't know, but it's pretty exciting, isn't it? Yes, yes. Oh, that digit's got to be 2 or 4, because this is sort of an extreme Renban now, because this is 1 or 5, and there's a 3 on the Renban. So it's either going 3, 2, 1 or 3, 4, 5. So that's 2 or 4. This one is borrowing that one's value, isn't it? So we have to keep an eye on this. The 3... hang on. Oh, that doesn't matter. Yeah, the 3 here, which isn't subject to any arithmetic constraints, is borrowing that digit, but who cares? This one we do care about, because this one is borrowing this digit. So that's interesting. So those 2 cells in column 3 are sort of a virtual 5 domino. I know they don't look it. It's sort of toroidal. You can pop off the top of the grid and pop into this cell. These 2 have to add up to 5, because this one is borrowing that one's value. So neither of those can be a 5. Okay, what can this be? This is 1, 2, or 3. So this is 2, 3, or 4. It's not 3. So it's 2 or 4. So this is odd, and is 1 or 3. And there's a 2, 4 pair in the column, and a 2, 4 pair in this row. So this is 1 or 5. This is 1, 3, 5. This is 1, 3, 5. Oh, I think we're really close now, aren't we, to figuring this out? I shouldn't have said that. As Hagrid once said. Oh dear. Okay, so it's not going to be something to do with... In fact, those are definitely green now because of this. Is it going to be something to do with the fact that I've not had 1 or 2 as my my thingies, whatever they're called? Yeah. How would that work? Is it to do with this virtual pair? Because we're going to have either a 1 or a 2 here. But 2... Can you create... Oh no, I haven't thought about this. Bobbins. Can I... Oh, I can. I was just thinking, can I create a value of 2 in here without a real... Oh, but there is a real 2 in there. There is a real 2 in there. That is something we seem to have discovered. I don't quite know how, but we have discovered it. Ah, but if... Hang on. Oh, that's extraordinary. I was going to say, well, this can't be a 2, which is a copycat, because we need a real value of 2 in here. But if that's a 2 copycat, it could be borrowing that digit. And that would be okay, wouldn't it? Oh, I've just spotted something. I can do more Sudoku over here. Might as well do it. Might help me. 1, 2, and 4 into these cells. Actually, I don't think that is doing anything, is it? And whatever this digit is, I really don't care. Okay. 5 in this box is in one of those two cells. So that's 5. That's 3. This is now 1 or 5. Which is nearly good, but not good enough. The corner digit is now 1, 2, or 3. Three is definitely in one of those two cells. I don't know if that matters, but it's true. And oh, I don't know. It might. Is it going to be? So, is it something to do with this Renban again? I mean, if this goes 3, 2, 1, what does that mean? This is a 2 then, so this has to be a 1, 4 pair. Do we care about that? This would be, it's very hard to trace through too. This would be a 1, 4 pair. So this would be a 4, this would be a 2. Well, the moment this becomes a 1, that has to be a 2, borrowing its value from that square, which has to be a 2. And that doesn't work, does it? Jeepers creepers. That's very, very... I'm not sure even that what I've said is right there. But it felt right when I said it. Felt right when I said it. Is that possibly true? Yeah, I'm not sure. But so I think we have to put everything together. We've got 1 and 2 left to be copycatted. Now, if this is a 2, let's go through it, because I think it worked. If this is a 2, we know that these two squares add up to 5 without now using 2. So we have to go 4 here and 1 here, and this becomes a 4, which is going to be very important, because now we know that the copycatted cell up here, it can't be 1 anymore. So it must be 2, and there's only one cell it can be, which is that one. Now, but that's not going to work, because now, how have we achieved the value of 2 in this box? We could have done it. We could have done it if this 2 had its symmetrical counterpart being a 2, but it doesn't work that way. It's a 4 now, and it's sucking in the wrong value, and there is no 2 in that quadruple, even though there is an actual 2 in it. I mean, it's just absolutely mad. It's mad logic. So that's 4, that's 5, that's 1, that's 5. Now, hopefully it'll work the other way around. Now we've got to put 2 here and 3 here. 2 here and 4 here. So now we know that the naughty digit here is 1. The naughty digit here has got to be 2. So we're in a similar position. The 2 has to go there. But now, oh, it's so clever. What a finish that is. Because the 2 is now in the right place across the copycat. I mean, that is absurd. I'm astonished by that. 2, 1. 1 here. 4 here. 2 here. 1 here. 3 here. 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 have all been copycatted. That one takes that one, but it doesn't matter. That one takes that one, and it certainly does matter. Those two have to be green. Wow. That's incredible. Congratulations. That's taken me half. Oh. Oh. Okay, is that it? Is that, so I mean, say that it's taken me an hour and 40 minutes. That might be it. That might be the last. There should be a message at the end saying, congratulations. And how does your brain feel? Mine feels completely and utterly bashed in. Wow. What a... I mean, how have you done that? Every single one of these puzzles is the same grid, just with changing the nature. So what did we have? We had a doubler, a halver, a pseudo, a copycat. There was one, a negator. 5, yeah, that's what we had. Incredible set. I mean, just think about what we've just done there. 5 puzzles, all with exactly the same grid. You put a different constraint for the sort of weird cells, and they all solved. They had similarities in places, but there was a lot of difference. I mean, it's an extraordinary thing, Scojo, you've done there. That is incredible. I need to go and lie down. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.